Hi everybody, we're going to take a look at creating a linoleum cut and printing it on a printing press today. So here are some of the materials that we are going to use in our project. Linoleum, tracing paper, and of course my favorite, the pencil. And you're going to need an eraser. And this is a straight edge X-Acto knife, but we're going to use a V-shape knife, a U-shaped knife, and also a small U-shaped knife. And these are our main tools. And this is a brayer that you're going to use to spread the block ink. And you're going to use a table hook. So now I'm designing my stamp, which I'm going to use. Now on my tracing paper, I'm just writing the words normal, and I'm putting in my number. You can see the number 13, skull and crossbones. I'm going to transfer now onto, by scribbling on the back of my design. And right now the lead is coming off on the linoleum from my drawing. And there it is. I have my linoleum cut ready to cut. Put down my table hook, press the top of my linoleum. Do not put your hand at the top of your, or you can run into it with the knife, and it will not feel good. So I'm going to remove all the negative space around my design. And as that's happening, I'm going to read you some interesting facts about printing and that process. Johann Gutenberg adapted the wine press to make the very first printing press in 1439. Instead of pressing grapes, the equipment pressed metal letters, forming onto sheets of paper, parchment, and vellum. Okay, that's who invented it. When books were made by hand, scribes used water-based inks. These inks did not stick to printed pages very well, so printers had to invent oil-based print inks. And then finally, Mexico had a working printing press in 1534 before Ireland, Russia, and the United States. And each piece of movable type back then, including letter forms, punctuation, blank spaces, and were originally made by hand. So those are just some things I thought were kind of interesting. You can see I'm starting to finish up. It is a long process. This process took me 46 minutes to do, and so it is going to take you guys some time. Make sure you're very careful. Always press that linoleum to the top of the table hook and never put your hand in front of the knife that you're using. Try to keep the tool level. You don't want to dig down in the linoleum. You want to keep kind of removing. You can see over to the right all these like little pieces of linoleum. Anyway, so these are a couple things to keep in mind when you're doing this project. So when Gutenberg invented printed the Bible, it was the second time the Bible had ever been printed, and it was 36 lines long, and he had to carve on each page, and he had to actually carve each letter and each image into wood before he printed it. Well, anyway, I wanted to give you some facts about that Gutenberg Bible. It was printed in 1450, and there are only 48 Bibles still in existence today, and 21 of them are complete. So the rest of them are just fragments. And there are 11 of those 48 in the United States. There is one at the Morgan Library in New York, the Library of Congress in DC, New York Public Library, Harvard University has one, Yale University has another, Princeton has another, and there's one at the Lilly Library in Indiana. Now, the Huntington Library here in San Marino has one, and I've seen that one. And then the last one the U.S. has is in University of Austin. Moving on. We're going to print our linoleum cut now, and there you can see I'm putting on the ink. And so you can start to see my linoleum cuts coming out. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove my linoleum, put down my paper, and I'm going to have my linoleum, center it, and then put a piece of wood. The wood's going to allow me to keep the pressure nice and easy, even through the printing process. And I'm going to be really careful when I remove that linoleum cut. And there you have it. I have my new print, my new stamp, and there's my linoleum cut. So you can see how my linoleum cuts backwards. And I hope you have a lot of fun making yours, and I can't wait to see them. Bring them by room 13 or room 35. Oh, and don't forget to sign your work. Have fun, you guys.